Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to week one of the NFL season. The Sully Squad is here. Extremely excited to get real football. No more of this preseason bullshit. Eagles squeaked out hey, a win is a win. Eagles squeaked that joint out. It was really sloppy, but guys, I feel like the first few weeks of the NFL season anymore is basically glorified preseason. It's basically what do you say in the NCAA tournament type stuff? Survive in advance, and that's exactly what the Eagles did. So, we're going to get into a lot of Eagles talk. We'll do a little Phillies later. Break down the whole NFL. I got my usual cast minus my man Mike Fuji, who's down working at the Phillies game. So I got my man Sean Kilrain to my right there. How you doing, Sean?
Chilling, man. Just ready for this football season, man. Eagles sloppy win, like you said, but hopefully they bring it Thursday night because I don't think Minnesota's going to be a pushover. They got revenge on their mind. So.
I hear you, and the way our defense was giving up passes over the middle, very concerned about that. And then I got my man, Mr. 6 for 6, Diego the Hammer Bianchi. What's up, bro?
What's up, everybody? Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Some concerning stuff yesterday on the defensive side. Some stuff we knew that was gonna be concerning coming in. So we'll get to that, but it would have been nice to be a little better in the middle of the field.
Definitely, I totally hear you there. A little bit concerned with the linebackers. Linebacker play had me extremely concerned. That's concerning. Blankenship looked all right, but I don't know. I didn't think that Evans looked all that great. What do you guys think?
Nah, he looked same here. Looked a little rusty, but
I think we got one serviceable player in the middle of the field, and that's Blankenship. The other safeties, I don't see a starting safety on the other side of Blankenship. We got to address that at some point this season, and we might have the worst linebacking corps in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, Nakobe Dean got hurt, but I mean, I didn't really notice him out there much even before he got hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
True.
but I got a couple comments here. My man Adam Glenn says, "What's up? What's up, Adam? How you doing?"
What's up, dude?
Ken Fry says, "The Hammer." Hey, Ken, how you doing?
What's up, Ken?
And then Paul Spencer says, "Relax. It's week one." And I agree with Paul. I mean, him and I talked about this earlier today. I mean, because his Cowboys looked dominant last night, but but to his credit, I mean, he's not sitting there like acting like they're going to the Super Bowl off of week one. I mean, he even acknowledges, it's the first week. It's the first week. Teams are getting their stuff together. Offensive. There's not a lot of offensive or defensive continuity out there. It's a short season that it's 17 weeks, but in a weird way, it's also a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It's like I know that sounds like ridiculous to say, but you just don't want to get buried early, and that's why I'm thankful the Eagles found a way to get a win, and that's good enough for me. Now, let's hope Thursday night they look better.
Yeah, we played against a good defense. Let's be real. New England's probably top 5 defense in the league. They're no slouches. The weather was horrible. So like the offense, I'm really not worried about. I think the offense is going to get going. There's too many weapons on our offense for them not to get going. You know what I mean? AJ Brown's going to catch that deep pass majority of the time. You know what I mean? He's not bobbling that. He's bringing it in clean. So I think we're going to be all right offensively. We already had the questions about linebacker and safety, and it looked like only Reed Blankenship could just tackle. At least he could tackle, but his coverage wasn't great. I think it's only week one, so it's not react, but you see the difference in the Lions defense with CJ back there, and then you see the difference of like us. Like our guys can't take a chance. They don't have the athletic ability to be taking these chances. They have the possibility to get burnt. So they just got to keep guys in front of them. And they can't really be difference makers when they're just trying to keep guys in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm so I'm looking at New England's, I'm looking at the New England passing game here. Now, New England, they beat us a lot over the middle. Like I'm looking like Hunter Henry, 5 catches, 56 yards,
Mm-hmm.
average, 1 touchdown. Mike Gesicki only
Kendrick
had 3
Bourne.
catches, but 36 yards, 12 yards a catch. That's what? That's 8 catches for about 92 yards from and 12 yards a catch from the tight end position over the middle.
Even Bourne, even on the one Bourne touchdown, he runs a post. So you're supposed to have supposed to get a little bit of help on the inside. Bradbury is expecting help on the inside, and he gets right over the top of the safety.
6 for 64 yards. Right. I mean, and 2 touchdowns. Don't forget about that. And
that's what I'm saying. The one touchdown, he got it right in the middle of the field. The middle of the field is wide open all day. And that's not even, we didn't even go up against some kind of high-powered quarterback. Mac Jones ain't that good.
No, I mean, but Mac Jones is good enough to beat you if you've got guys wide open. You know what I mean?
My point is, Mac Jones not even that good. So imagine if you got to play against a quarterback that is that good.
Yeah.
You know what he is? At the end of the day, he's a smart quarterback. He don't make stupid plays or mistakes.
Another thing, our personnel says stupid.
His head.
How stupid's our personnel going into the season? You only take 3 linebackers and 4 tight ends?
Yeah, well,
don't even get me started.
Well, they did sign that. They did bring in a linebacker because Nakobe Dean's going to be out for at least probably about a month. They did bring in that guy. What was his name? Evans from the Titans or whatever.
Yeah, I think he's a waiver wire guy for a reason. They said he's a headache. They said he's pretty much horrible in coverage. He can stop the run a little bit and he can blitz, but we don't blitz, so you take that out of the equation. So he can stop the run. Big deal. So can Cunningham. That doesn't help the middle of the field.
Yeah, T-Rex W with a comment here. He says, secondary needs to get it together because Jefferson and Addison are going to be a huge problem for us. Yeah,
I agree.
Totally agree there, although Chris Mims says preach. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, man. Thanks for checking us out. Well, I'll tell you, the one thing, though, I mean, I watched some of that Vikings game yesterday, and yes, it is concerning that if you give Kirk Cousins time, he could hit Justin Jefferson. I'm concerned with them putting Jefferson in the slot because then what are we going to do if he goes over the middle of the field? We got some issues, but I do think our D line could get to him because Cousins was getting his ass kicked a lot of that game yesterday.
Yeah, but the Patriots were down 2 starting linemen. We couldn't get to Mac Jones.
Well, I mean, we did it. That's true. Well, he was getting the ball out kind of quick, though.
Who says Kirk Cousins does it? Kirk Cousins is a vet. You get Kirk Cousins in the middle of that field, he's probably going to eat it up.
Yeah. Chris Mims says, "Hell yeah!" And Bradbury is gone, and even he's mid. Yeah, well, Bradbury's out. So I mean, Bradbury
was getting spanked yesterday.
Concussion protocol. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I'll tell you what though, that kid Josh Jobe didn't look too bad. That was a big play he made on that last play. I mean, if he don't push him and he gets his feet in, dude, we're like sweating bullets in that last drive.
I agree. Yeah, Joe played nice when he came in. Avonte Maddox ain't bad in the slot.
Yeah.
I thought Maddox kind of struggled yesterday, though.
You think? Yeah. He had a nice play where he tipped that ball and stopped a big play.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, he made a couple nice plays, but I don't think it was his best game as far as like, just seeing how many yards they got over the middle. You know what I mean? But then again, that might not have been all him. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel, remember, like last year, remember the speed that, like, even from the first game, you've seen it. Kaiser White and TJ Edwards just flew around that middle of the field. It was hard to beat them. We looked slow. Like every guy that was out there just looked like a slow ass linebacker.
I know.
Who looked quick. Even Nakobe Dean ain't quick. He don't look quick. He might have run a quick 40 or whatever, but he don't look quick.
Yeah, I hear you. So those are some of the concerns, but. I got here on the bottom here, Georgia Dogs show out. Now, Nakobe Dean didn't show out, but
Jalen Carter showed out.
Jalen Carter, and you know what, dude?
Jerome Brown 2.0.
Yo, and Jordan Davis, stop playing with Jordan Davis. He had a beast-ass game too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying here, right? So I'm looking at this. Yeah. I'm looking at this right here. It says Jalen Carter recorded 6 pressures and a sack on 32 pass rushes, right? Jordan Davis recorded 6 tackles, 1 sack, a forced fumble, and 3 pressures. Bro, both them dudes balled out, man.
They can eat. They can eat.
You know what? And it's a hell of an accomplishment to come back from what Jordan Davis was last year, you know, to play like that. And I think we're going to see more to come with those guys, man, because like we said earlier before the season, they're going to wreak havoc, man, especially when you get Nolan Smith out there. You're going to have speed, great technique from both ends, and you know, it's only going to get better because Sweat played a good game. You know, everybody played a good game, but they have to stop putting Cox constantly in. Give these young guys some more of the rotation. What do you think?
I thought Cox played pretty good, though. I think that rotation's nasty. Mario Williams played pretty good too. I feel like our front's not going to be the problem this year.
Yeah. I was going to say,
like I always said, it's a revolving door.
Yeah. To Diego's point, I was going to say Cox actually had one of the biggest plays of the game yesterday because I think didn't he have a big sack? He knocked New England out of field goal range at one point.
Yeah. He got the. Yeah, you're right.
You know,
I think they all recorded it. I know Davis and Carter recorded a sack, and I'm pretty sure Cox got one too.
Yeah, and Josh Sweat. See, that's looking for encouraging things. Real quick, let me just get to Paul Spencer's comment. He said the Vikings OC Wes Phillips is going to attack the middle of the field with Hockenson, while Addison and Jefferson are going to demand safety help. That's definitely a concern. But the bottom line is, though, like I said, the Vikings O line is susceptible to pressure, and I feel like they're going to miss Dalvin Cook, dude. I don't think that Madison is really anything special, dude. He's a jag. He's just a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Fletcher Cox didn't have a sack.
He didn't. Well, he got a
no.
Then he had a pressure, dude, because I saw him get in there. Fletcher Cox got in there on a couple plays. I saw it.
He got in there. That's why I just said he played good. I feel like all our defensive tackles, whenever they were in, you see them on the field. They flushed out Mac Jones a lot. Mac Jones just made good plays when he got flushed out the pocket because the middle of our field sucks.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Chris Mims says, facts, bro. It's going to be a test for the Eagles D. The line is going to have to step it up a notch. Yep.
Definitely.
Fucking A right, man. I mean, we need
one guy we didn't see yesterday. I feel like Hassan Reddick couldn't do shit.
Nah, well, you know what? And you kind of wonder. I know he had that thumb injury, but sometimes for D linemen, like they depend on their hands. So maybe not to make an excuse for him, but maybe he was having a hard time getting his hand. You know what I mean? Getting his hands to get around. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about Brandon Graham's playing time? I feel like we didn't see him out there a lot.
I didn't notice him. I'll tell you that much.
Besides the holding penalty that they had was against Brandon Graham. I know that. That's the only play I seen him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any defensive stats in front of me here, but yeah, I mean,
I got something right here. Let's see.
I always go by the eye test anyway. I mean, I didn't really know. I didn't really notice.
All right, Brandon Graham had a tackle for loss. One tackle for loss.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you another thing that was encouraging. Our run defense was pretty good. Like New England only had. I mean, now granted, we had a 16-0 lead, so it kind of took them out of the running game a little bit. But New England only had 76 yards rushing, and I'm looking here. Let's see, what's his face? Ezekiel Elliott. Well, Elliott had 7 carries, 29 yards. That's mediocre. Ramondre Stevenson, 12 carries, 25 yards. They did a good job on that running game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The defensive line's not going to be the problem this year. They're going to get pressure and they're going to stop the run. They're huge.
Mike Laura with a comment. You could check Mike out on Sundays on the Edge of Philly Network, PM in the AM, and also Thursday nights on Edge of Philly with the Locker Room. So He says, "What's up, boys? This is the most vanilla game. This is the most vanilla game on both sides of the ball that I've seen in a long time."
Yeah, they kind of just melted it. I feel one thing I feel is maybe they didn't want to show a lot, knowing that they can get out of New England with the win, and you got Minnesota Thursday night on a short week. You know what I'm saying? So don't show them too much. They said Desai blitzes. Desai didn't blitz, but maybe that's because he didn't want Kirk Cousins to be able to study his plays and shit.
Well, he did. I'll tell you what, though, I will give Desai some props. On the last drive, I think he blitzed Ellis, and he on Jalen Carter's sack, I think he sent Ellis and he sent Blankenship, and Jalen Carter got in there. I mean, granted, Jalen Carter looks like a beast, so I don't think he needs blitz up, but he gave him a one-on-one, and he dusted that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You see how Jalen Carter yesterday, you watch one game, you see him pop off the screen. Yeah. None of our linebackers have that. And I feel like at linebacker, you do got to have that. You got to pop off the screen. You got to run sideline to sideline and tackle like Fred Warner and Greenlaw. When you watch San Fran, watching them yesterday against Pittsburgh, you just see these guys flying everywhere. You can't hit the middle of the field on them. You got to hit big plays over the top if you want to beat that. If you want to beat them.
Yeah, I mean they took. I mean, speaking of San Fran, man, I mean they took it to Pittsburgh, bro. I mean, I was dead wrong.
Them in the mouth.
Yeah, you only got to watch one game of San Fran's defense to be like, all right, they're really good. I don't have to watch no more games. Like they're going to be really good for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'll tell you that again. Don't want to overreact over one game, but Brock Purdy looked pretty good too, man. You know what I mean? I was really hoping, as Eagles fans, we would see Brock Purdy out there looking nervous, throwing picks. Dude, he was cool, calm, and collected out there.
Maybe not even throwing picks. I thought Brock Purdy would just come in and throw they would just run a lot of safe stuff, like plays behind the line of scrimmage at Debo or little screen plays of McCaffrey, which it did have a big play on McCaffrey. But Purdy was hit Ayuk a lot. Purdy hit players down the field. He looked nice, and that was pissing me off every pass. He would complete. I'm like, Purdy sucks. By the end of the game, I'm like, Purdy looked pretty damn nice.
Yeah, Paul Spencer here says Reed is good, safe, 12 tackles, 9 solos, but
he can tackle. You don't get past Reed Blankenship. That's why he's serviceable. I just don't see him making a lot of big plays that I feel like safety should make.
Yeah, he says Bradbury got put on skates twice yesterday, one for a walk-in TD and one for a big play for 32. Yeah, it definitely wasn't Bradbury's best day, that's for sure.
And then he got knocked out. I'll tell you what, Darius Slay's really good. You see how he recovered on that one play? His eyes were in the backfield like crazy, and he bit on that, and he recovered, almost picked that shit off.
Yeah, Chris Mims says, are the Steelers really a threat, though? I'd like to see Purdy against a tougher defense.
They were supposed to have a good defense, though.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh's defense isn't bad. I mean, they do got TJ Watt, they got some good linebackers, but
Well, here's the thing. San Fran's got a great O-line.
Right.
So Purdy's going to get that all day with that O-line, kind of similar to the Eagles' offensive line. That's why a quarterback that I feel is a 6th-round pick can be successful. Even Tom Brady always had a good offensive line in front of him. He always had time to stand there. He always had time to deliver passes. You know what I mean? You give him time.
Survey the field. Exactly. You survey the field and do that all day, you're going to win.
And Christian McCaffrey. You got Christian McCaffrey. Anyone that has Christian McCaffrey in the league, that offense is explosive. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, look at them, dude. I mean, think about it. Like Brock Purdy could just play point guard. I do agree with Chris to a point, though. I would for example, I'd be interested to see Brock Purdy on the road, like at Dallas or
I agree.
Or maybe like at
Bills.
At the Bills or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that then we'll really get a good read.
I hear you, but most games you're not going to play them caliber teams. So Purdy's probably going to have a good year. San Fran's probably going to win the majority of their games, and they're probably going to be competing for the number 1 seed and get a bye. So that's the game plan. That's fine. If we lose to Dallas or whatever, we'll see them in the playoffs in San Fran. We'll have a defensive shootout. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But
bring on the whiners.
Yeah,
See, Dallas, I wasn't as impressed by Dallas's performance as the score, and I think they're just as good as the Eagles. But yesterday, that game was crazy rain. They scored 2 touchdowns right off the bat on the block punt and the pick. Like Giants just couldn't really get anything going. Everything was going Dallas's way. It was one of them nights in like rain. Like that's what I feel about Dallas last night. I do think they're really good though.
Yeah. Here's one right here. Just going around the league. Paul Spencer says, looked mock speed yesterday. Calvin Ridley looked.
Dude,
tell you what,
he looked better after missing 2 years of football.
Too, if I was out for a year.
Yeah, but he missed 2 years almost. And when you miss 2 years of football, it's not as easy as to come back and play football. Deshaun Watson don't look the same Deshaun Watson as he used to.
I'll tell you what. The Jags getting Calvin Ridley, like I'm not saying Calvin Ridley is as good as AJ Brown, like I'm not going there yet, but it almost looks like it could have the same type of impact that us getting AJ Brown made last year.
Oh, I'll say that, dude. I always thought Calvin Ridley was a top 5 receiver when he would play. He's got that route running. He's got that. He's crazy. You miss 2 years and you come back looking better. That just shows how talented of a player you are. He's every bit as good as AJ Brown.
Yeah, Chris Mims says.
Great route.
Yeah, Chris Mims says, yeah, that's true about that O-line, but I would still like to see him against my Cowboys. Yeah, because
I hear you.
That's the thing. I agree because that's the thing, man. I mean, Mike, you talk about guys that pop off the screen, bro. Well, first off, if
everybody pops off the screen on that Dallas team yesterday.
I was going to say if DeMarcus Lawrence is a good ball player, but my God, if he played against the Giants every week, he'd be in the friggin' Hall of Fame. I mean,
he'd have like Michael Strahan numbers,
No shit. I mean, Giants fans like Daniel Jones has nightmares about DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons, bro. Because I'll
tell you what. A couple of weeks ago, what did I say? You're like, do you think that Daniel Dimes hype is real? After I bashed him so bad last year, and I was like, yeah, I think it's real. Fuck out of here, Danny Dimes sucks ass. He's horrible. He's trash.
It's funny though. I hear you, but in all fairness, though, his line, like Evan Neal, like, dude, that dude Evan Neal was getting dusted, dog. Oh my God, he gets dusted every time. Yeah. Every time that dude plays against Dallas, he gets dusted, bro.
I just feel like he always looks lost or confused or some shit. Danny, he's always like, I don't know, like he always looks like he has no idea when something's going wrong. Like, I don't know, he's trash.
Who you talking about, Danny Dimes?
Yeah. He like never look. He always looks confused to me.
He's got that Eli face.
But Eli, when the things got tough, Eli made big plays.
No, that's true.
Like that kind of like not knowing what's going on paid off for him. It don't pay off for this dude.
Yeah, that's true. Chris Mims agrees with my DeMarcus Lawrence point, man. He is I'll tell you that's what's going to be interesting. Like I said, like not to. I'm not going too crazy over, the Eagles didn't look that great. Dallas did look great. San Francisco did look great, but then again, Cincinnati looked like shit. I mean, I think we all agree Cincinnati's a good team. Kansas City loses at home. They're going to be a good team. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
So, we'll see. And you look at Jacksonville. I mean, we're giving Calvin Ridley props, with what's his face, Trevor Lawrence and stuff. Dude, they barely beat that Colts team.
I was going to say the Colts look. The Anthony Richardson can play for a rookie. The third guy taken in the draft. He looked like he had the most. I seen a little bits and parts of like each rookie quarterback playing. To me, he got the most talent out of all three of them.
Well, a lot of people said that coming out of the draft. Now I think Bryce Young was a safer pick. You know what I'm saying?
But Richardson has the ceiling.
I think so too. I think like honestly, if it were me, I think I would have gone Richardson because I feel like you got a lot of tools to work with Richardson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Richardson was good at Florida, man. He was hell of good.
Yeah, here's one. Mike Laura says, "How about the Rams beating the Seahawks?" I mean, Diego, you called that, didn't you? Because I've
been saying I'm not a Seahawks believer. I'm not a Geno Smith believer. He was good last year. You know, sometimes quarterbacks just get hot. But I don't think Geno Smith just got really good out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I think he just got hot for a little bit last year. I don't think they're that real contender.
Yeah, Paul Spencer touching on that here. He said, look at the Rams by 17 over Seattle. I had Seattle top 5 in the NFC this year. I
didn't.
Yes, see, I still do. But Seattle's got a tough. Actually, Seattle has a tough game this coming week. Seattle's at Detroit, and I think Seattle got 2 of their offensive linemen got hurt. So if they're going to Detroit and Detroit's home opener, going against Aiden Hutchinson and some of them cats on that D line.
Oh yeah,
Seattle could be looking at a quick 0-2.
Really quick.
This was a great game. Mike Lauro called. He called Miami over LA. That was an exciting ass game, man.
The cheetah is ridiculous.
Ain't he?
The cheetah is ridiculous. Like, I feel like I always want to say there's a better receiver in the league than Tyreek Hill, and I think he's the best wide receiver in the league.
Well, you know what? I think I agree with you, because as great as like a Justin Jefferson is, AJ Brown, all these other guys, Tyreek Hill. I'm sorry, but you can't. Tyreek Hill's the fastest. He's the baddest guy in the league. Like you literally have to account for him every single play, because he could go for 90 every play.
Not even that. And then you would think when you get in the goal line, it'd be even easier to contain Tyreek Hill. He called like a one-on-one fade play yesterday for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's incredible, dude.
His routes are sick.
His speed is sick. It's like unfair. He's like an Olympic runner with like mad strength because he's strong, you know. And Justin Jefferson is probably the quote unquote best receiver. No one's got No one's got that game breaking speed, maybe in the history of the NFL, like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Chris Mims says, great point. Seattle definitely could go 0-2. I believe the Lions are hungry after a win against Kansas City. Yeah, definitely, and that's their home opener. And I mean, the people at Detroit have been waiting 70 years for. I mean, they haven't. I can't even remember who the hell was it. Bobby Lane? Didn't they have a quarterback named Bobby Lane?
Yeah,
I don't.
I have no idea.
Yes.
I don't know. It's so long ago. I don't remember. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, I mean, Detroit hasn't been relevant in football since like 1950 something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've sucked balls for a while.
So basically, you're saying they've never been relevant.
They've never been relevant.
Football was like a new sport in 1950. It probably had like 10,000 fans.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, you know what's funny? The only people that notice Detroit is when like Eddie Murphy wore that Detroit jacket in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah,
that was it. Like nobody even knew who the Lions were. People were like, "Yo, what's that, Joel?" And they're like, "Oh, Detroit got a football team." You know what I mean? Because Eddie Murphy wore the jacket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right about the cheetah, bro. And I'll tell you, man, like if Tua, see, I don't think Miami's good enough defensively, but oh yeah, and Paul Spencer says, and they're on Thanksgiving every year. Well, that's true. That's true. But that's that they're always the early John. That's the John that like
that's a 12:30 John. That's a 12:30 John.
Right, exactly. That's like the before. Dallas got the prime time John. Detroit's got like the early John. Detroit's got the John that you're missing half the game because you're going to where you're going to eat dinner, and you're like, oh, let me catch the end of that John. You know what I mean?
Right.
And half the time the Lions are trash, and you're like, yo, what's the score? And they're like losing like 40-6, and you're like, all right, never mind. You know, we'll chill on that one. You know. Or eat or like people eat the early dinner and then they don't really care. You know, that's the one where like the husband's like, if I miss some of that one, no big deal. I want to watch the Cowboys game. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Or the 4:00 game. It's always the worst game. Now, if they're pretty good this year, Joe, would they bump them up though? Maybe.
No, it's already set.
It's always set in stone.
Dallas is always. Detroit's always the early, no matter what.
Okay.
Dallas is always the 4:30, and then the last when did they started doing the Sunday night game? I think about 11, 12 years ago. I think
that's a relatively newer thing.
Actually, no. I think
7:30.
even nah. You know what? No, they've been doing the new. I think I've been doing the night John. Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about it, the Eagles played on Thanksgiving in like 08, so they've been doing it since like 07, 08. It's been a while.
Yeah, like 15 years.
Yeah.
Didn't McNabb played on Thanksgiving against the Cowboys? Had that crazy ass play.
Well, remember, it was a torture for us Eagles fans. The Eagles kicked the Cardinals' ass in 08, Thanksgiving. I think we beat the shit out of them. It was the week after Baltimore kicked our ass, and then we beat the shit out of the Cardinals. So then when we played the Cardinals in the championship game, like everybody in Philly, even though it was out in Arizona, everybody in Philly was like thinking it was a shoo-in. We were going to go beat them to win the Super Bowl, and then we lost. Kurt Warner lit us the fuck up.
Yeah, he did.
And
then he went on to win the Super Bowl, right? They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, they lost.
They lost?
They almost won. They actually took the lead.
Is that the touchdown? Is that the touchdown in the corner of the end zone?
That was the Santonio Holmes, John.
All right, that's the one that was a sick ass catch.
Yeah, that was the Santonio Holmes, John, because Arizona took the lead. Larry Fitzgerald had like an 85-yard slant pattern and ran down the field. And then Big Ben brought him down the field, and Santonio Holmes made that great catch.
There you go. Green Bay versus Detroit, 12:30. Washington versus Dallas, 4:30. San Fran versus Seattle, the nighttime game. So, dude, Green Bay looked pretty nice. Jordan Love looked pretty nice too.
He did, and again, not to overreact, but like a lot of people really thinking the Bears were going to take a step this year, and they still might, but. Man, Justin Fields looked trash yesterday, man. That whole team, looked trash, and Jordan Love did look good, man.
I'm pretty sure I tried telling you before the season that I think Justin Fields is trash.
You were, yes.
All right. I mean, he could be good. I just think he could be trash. We'll talk about it at the end of the season.
Well, we'll see. You know what I mean? I mean, hey, I'm not ready to write the dude off. It is funny, though. I did see, like, I forget what it was, but, like, on Facebook or something, or one of the football things was saying that, like, ranking Justin Fields ahead of Jalen Hurts. And I was like,
that's what I'm saying. It was crazy. The hype around him was crazy. He did nothing to deserve it. That's why I was like, I just don't think he's going to live up to it. He did nothing to deserve that.
I hear you, but,
Chris Sims probably put that ranking out.
Yeah, Chris Sims was probably butthurt because he ripped Jalen Hurts, and then
he always does that shit.
Yeah, but hey, you know what though? Speaking of Jalen Hurts, let's touch on these offensive struggles a little bit. Now, we all love Jalen Hurts. He had a great year last year.
He had a horrible game yesterday.
He did. I mean, I'm sorry. We got to keep it 100. He didn't. I think yesterday. And Nick Sirianni even touched on it a little bit. Well, he was saying that maybe he might want to give them a series or two in the preseason next year because they looked so out of sorts, man. I mean, Tony Romo pointed it out like multiple times. Goddard was wide open for possession plays. You know what I mean?
Well, he didn't look. I feel like all game the middle of the field was there. He didn't even look at it. He was just trying to throw deep passes to AJ Brown. Or try to scramble at the pocket or look for Devontae Smith. I feel like you have to take the middle of the field. That's what will open up you being able to run on the outsides.
Yeah.
And Kenny Gainwell is not that dude. Gainwell is not that dude.
No.
Yeah.
Would you get DeAndre Swift and Penny for? And
that's what I'm saying. And he just
be a healthy de-application. Don't make sense to me.
We all watch the Eagles every single game, every single year. We watched every game last year. Kenny Gainwell played a nice part. Not one time last year did you say that's our number one running back.
No.
You know what I think. Unfortunately, what I think happened is that the coaching staff loves him because they're the ones that drafted him, right? Because they drafted him in 2021. This staff didn't draft Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was here. And so, and if you remember, Kenny Gainwell got a lot of playing time in the playoffs. And I think Gainwell's a decent player, but Gainwell's the kind of guy that should be carrying it like 6 to 10 times a game, not he can't. I don't think Gainwell 14 carries. I don't think he can't be your main guy. You need another guy to be the main guy, and then you carry Gainwell like 6 to 12.
And exactly like Sean said, why is Rashad Penny not suited up? You had a backfield, a tiny ass. You got to have one bruiser in there, one guy that could just, you could take it off Jalen Hurts, put him under center, turn around, hand it off, get a big yard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And through Penny, I've seen Penny break big plays. He's got that big. If he gets to that second level, he can go through somebody and make a big play.
Yeah, Mike Lauro says they're saving Penny for Thursday. That's what he's thinking.
I honestly, he's probably right. They're probably like, we have a game turning around. Let's just keep these fresh running backs all year.
Yeah.
Now I can really see that though. I can really see him doing that. Maybe give Penny off 1 week, give Scott off 1 week. You know what I'm saying? Let these guys stay fresh because you want a fresh backfield going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Totally agree with Chris.
Yeah, Chris Rapizzi says Gainwell's too small to be an every down back.
100%, Chris.
But Gainwell did look good in the playoffs, though, and I think as good as he was, that's
that good.
He played. I mean, he was. I mean, I'm not saying that good, but he was the guy that scored a lot of touchdowns in the playoffs. They didn't give it to Miles as much, if you remember.
Oh, I was gonna say, don't you think Miles, believe it or not, could be a guy we miss more than we thought?
Yeah, I do. I remember I said that to you. I said that to you at lunchtime today. I was like, you know what? You think about it. Miles Sanders had a hell of a year last year, and I feel like maybe they kind of took that shit for granted. You know what I mean? Because like they're sitting there and they're like,
we're not going to pay. I mean, I still agree with not paying it back though. Like, what do you get? 8 mil, 7 mil, 8 mil?
Something like that. Yeah, but that's not. I mean, that's not
crazy. But Miles Sanders ain't big money running back. Even though that's not crazy money, I think the highest is probably like 13 mil.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think McCaffrey makes a lot. Yeah, McCaffrey, Saquon, them dudes. Chris Rapizzi, Boston Scott, I was a fan of him. Yeah, well, Boston, DeAndre Swift, 1 carry, 3 yards. Boston Scott, 1 carry, 3 yards. I mean, that's ridiculous.
No,
I agree. Honestly, I always like Boston Scott. I think Boston Scott should just be activated for 2 games a year. When he plays the Giants, activate Boston Scott. He'll crush them for us. That's 2 W's. We could use Penny, Swift, and Gainwell more productively, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, I think are you gonna show your cards? No, but you got a power back, a shifty back in Swift, and Gainwell your Swiss Army knife. I mean, it was ridiculous just feeding the ball over and over to Gainwell. And I'm like, when the hell are they going to give it to Swift? Why did we sign Swift? It was almost like a tease. But
yeah, I agree. I'll tell you one more thing about offense. Dallas Goedert has to touch the ball. 0 catches. You got to force that. Even if he's one, you got to force a couple passes to him. Make the other team think I will throw to Dallas Goedert. Yeah. You better. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You have to at least get him involved somewhat. Not let him be Mr. Invisible. You're absolutely right. But I don't think this will be the case come Monday night.
Let's hope we just weren't trying to show a lot of cards this week. You know what I mean? Let's hope it was just like, all right, we'll get into a little sloppy game. Let's try to pull one out week 1. Let's not get hurt. We got Minnesota on Thursday night. Let's hope it's one of those things.
Yeah,
Chris brings up a good point too.
Yeah, the tight end from Denver. It's hard to say his last name. People just call him O because it's like
Owuki or something.
Yeah, Okuwuki. I don't know, dude. I can't
say
Wengu? Something. They just call. You could just call him
6'5", 230. He was a healthy scratch as well as Penny too. I just don't get it. Makes no sense.
You know the other thing that
didn't you just want to see more out of Jalen Hurts yesterday though? Like I know it's only 1 game, but I wanted like first game against a tough defense, him just be like, all right, we're smacking them. Especially after going up 16-9.
He looked dazed and confused, just like you
said. He didn't look energized. You're right. He just didn't look energized. He didn't look like he really wanted it yesterday.
I get it. The weather. I mean, we all played in rain. It's shitty. it's miserable. But
Yeah.
you're a professional. I mean, kind of step it up a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, he didn't look like the Jalen we all know and love. But it's only week.
And I'm not panicking. I still think Jalen puts together an MVP season. I still think he puts that together. I just wanted to start the season off Jalen went off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what though? One thing we got to keep in perspective though, not making it, but no reps. No reps preseason really. Played a lot of games last year. Coming off the Super Bowl. New England does have a good defense. Their linebacker. First off, they're very exotic. They're not really built like other teams. Like New England has a couple linebackers that are in the 6'2", 6'3", 240, 250 range. Like a lot of teams,
fast and
they're fast
technique.
and the kid. It's only one game, but
the kid Gonzalez can play. He's ridiculous.
He can play a little bit. You know what I mean?
Popped off the screen. You know how Carter popped off the screen? Gonzalez for them. On that blitz, he covers the number one wide receiver. He really popped off the screen yesterday, in my opinion.
5 tackles, 2 assists, 1 sack.
Yeah, he popped off. You see Belichick's chick broke up with him, so he was like a mad scientist studying that game plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And let's keep it real. First off, Belichick's chick broke up with him, and it was Tom Brady day. So he wasn't trying to look like no scrub out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Can you imagine how embarrassed he'd be if Brady's sitting in that John, and then Belichick gets his ass kicked, and Brady, even if Brady's still boys with Belichick or whatever, in Brady's mind, he'd be like, y'all ain't doing shit without me. You know what I'm saying? So Belichick was trying to. He was game planning like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mac Jones actually had a pretty decent game.
What's that?
Mac Jones actually had a pretty decent game.
He did. He did, man. And I gotta tell you. Yeah, and I gotta tell you guys something. Belichick was Belichick was up late game planning. And if you're up late and you're trying to stay up late, you might want to have some coffee. Well, just to let you guys know out there, any coffee drinkers out there, the best coffee in the land is Monkey Coffee. Make sure you check these guys out, monkeycoffee.com. Promo code OOTBS Sports. So make sure you check them out because Monkey Coffee is some really good coffee here. But anyway, like I was going to say, man, Chris thought it was funny. Chris thought it was funny. I brought that up. He's like, you crazy for you crazy for bringing that up. Hey man, let's keep it real, man. Lack of booty will make you study a little harder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it would, right? I'm gonna show this girl. I'm gonna show her. Wait till this defense I draw up. Wait till you see this, John.
Hey man, gives them a little bit more preparation time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what did Mickey say in Rocky? Women weaken legs, right? Right? You know what I'm saying?
Weaken legs, Rock. Come on, get in there.
So, all right. Well, all right. Let's before we get into a little bit of Phillies here, let's touch on this Minnesota game. We kind of did a little bit. Wait, hang on. I got one more here. Oh, that's a fact. Yeah. Mark Weathers used to say ass kills.
Yeah. Ass makes you broke.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. More wars are fought over that than anything else. You know what I'm saying? You ever see the movie Troy?
I've never seen that.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. You ever see that, John?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, listen to this now. What's his face? I forget.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's in that, John, and then there's somebody else. I can't remember the other actor, but he was in like a bunch of movies back in a few years back, and he loses it. His girl goes over to the other side. Man, this dude brought a whole army to get that John back.
Yeah, took it over.
Huh?
Just took it over.
It was the dude that played Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking. I don't remember his
Eric
name.
Bana.
But who was
Eric
that?
Bana.
There
Eric
you
Bana.
go. Yeah. Wasn't he in like 300? Wasn't he in
Yo,
like
he brought
300
the Hulk.
though?
Yeah, no. That's Gerard Butler, but he's like, yo, I got an army.
Yeah, can you imagine like a whole country? He's like, yo, man, he took my check. Yo, we invading that John. You know what I'm saying? So, but, hey, man, that'll motivate a guy. So, I kind of thought that we'd have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here, I got another comment here. Chris Rapizzi says, "What are you guys thinking about Evans, new linebacker?" He's a guy.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
Put him on the practice squad and let him get acclimated, but we'll see what happens.
It does. It does, Chris.
It does. Yeah, definitely. So,
100%.
A lot of truth in that, John. So, hey, you know what? Hey, anyway, what we're saying, New England looked like a mediocre team the last couple of years. The defense is making a comeback because Belichick is hungry. All right.
Yeah. Anything else surprise you around the league?
What impressed me around the league? I mean, other than San Francisco and Dallas, you know what? The Raiders, Raiders with a nice win in Denver. You know what? That's one. Denver lost the game, but Russell Wilson looked a little bit more like Russell Wilson again to a point. I mean, at one point, I think he was like 17 out of 19. I think Sean, and they didn't have Jerry Jeudy. Now, I'm interested to see what he'll look like when he has his full complement of weapons. If Sean Payton could kind of get him back to being, him. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Good defensive game. So if they can keep playing defense like that, you know what I mean? Stay low scoring, get Jeudy back and become a little more explosive. Maybe they can win some games.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
How do you think about Derek Carr and his new home?
Looked like trash, I thought.
He did, right?
He looked trash.
I feel like Tennessee always makes a game look trash.
They do.
Well, Tannehill had 3 interceptions.
They just always find a way to make any game they play in just looks trash. They win them a lot of the times, but they just know how to make a game look really trash.
You know what Tennessee's like? I mean, last year they stunk. Tennessee is like they're kind of. I was gonna say they're almost like the ugly girl in the bar at like 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Like gets the job done for some guys or whatever. But it's not pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like tennis, like you said, like they control the clock. Tannehill makes like one play. You know what I mean?
They play defense.
Yeah, it's boring. Like they remind me of like the Saints back in the day, back when the Saints had like Jim Moore and like Bobby Haybear, and they had a good defense. That's exactly how the Saints were. Like, they would beat you like 15, they would beat you like 15-12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Morton Anderson would kick 5 field goals and they win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens with like Trent Dilfer. You know,
exactly.
They would just D everybody up.
Exactly. We got a comment here just touching on the Minnesota game. If I were you guys, I wouldn't fear Minnesota. Only thing that would cause concern is the secondary. Slay can't cover everybody, but for the most part, I expect you guys to win. Yeah, well, so to touch on that, I think we're going to win too. But the 7.5, I don't think I'd lay the 7.5 to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not laying the 7.5. I'm not.
I'm seeing like
a week of practice.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I mean, some time could have been put into the Minnesota game as they were coming up to the first game. You know what I mean?
True.
I know you take it week by week in the NFL, but they can talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Look ahead a little bit. Kind of be game planning for 2 games at once. You know what I mean? It's the beginning of the season. Everyone's still trying to get acclimated, and you got to win some games. You know what I mean? So let's try to do 2 things at once, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so let's before we move on here, let's make our predictions here for Thursday, because I mean, I mean, my God, it is a short week. I mean, shit, 3 nights from now they're playing already. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't
say,
mind that early in the season as much though, because these guys are still relatively fresh. Then we don't play till Monday night after that though.
right.
So we get a decent break to go along with the short week. So it's not the worst thing in the world.
All right. So Minnesota's coming off a loss at home to Tampa Bay. I'm going to say
That's a team that surprised me, Joe.
yeah, Tampa Bay. I know.
Tampa Bay look good. Like people sleep on them. Like they don't have two top 20 receivers in the league, 25 receivers in the league, former Super Bowl champions. They know how to win. To do White's sick on defense. They got a pretty nice defense. That team's low key. If Baker Mayfield can put it together.
Well, you know who's a stud is Winfield. Winfield was
he's a stud
yesterday, man.
He's a stud. Winfield's a stud.
Always been University of Minnesota too, as well.
Yeah, second round pick.
That dude can ball, man. I think a few months back there was a rumor that he possibly wanted out of there, and I'll tell you what, man. Tampa won. Well, Tampa already is 1-0. You know, I don't want to overreact to the Bears, but I think Tampa could beat Chicago's at Tampa Bay this week. I think Tampa can beat them. Tampa could go
and beat. I would say they should beat.
Well, they're favored. I think they're favored by like 3 or 4.
Yeah, I was saying the Bucs should win that game.
Right, but I mean, I agree. But I mean, it could go either way. But yeah, I like the Bucs in that. And if that's the case, then the Bucs are 2-0 when we go to play them. You know, so that's the thing, man. You know, Baker Mayfield. I know I'm not a Baker Mayfield guy, but like, you know, I mean, he did get Cleveland to the playoffs, and he does have. It is a weak ass division, and because nobody in the South impressed me at all. The only thing in the South that impressed me was Bijan Robinson as individually.
Right, exactly.
Nothing impresses me in the South.
Honestly, not just Bijan. Both running backs on Atlanta dominated yesterday. They both got 15. They both got 15 carries each. Bijan scored twice. Algier scored twice.
Yeah, I think Desmond. I'm not impressed with Desmond Ridder though. I don't.
Not at all. Or Kyle Pitts.
Who?
Or Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts hasn't impressed me yet. The way they were talking about this tight end coming out of Florida.
They hyped him up.
Too much.
Yeah.
I mean, local kid. So I want him to do good, but he hasn't looked any bit of what he was drafted.
I hear you, man. So, all right, let's make our prediction here. I'm gonna say Eagles. I'm gonna say Eagles 20. I'm gonna say 27-21 Birds.
I'm gonna go Eagles 23-20.
23-20?
23-20.
Okay. Yeah, all right, I said, what did I say? 27-20?
Something like that.
Yeah. See, I don't even remember what I said, but I do like the Eagles. I do like the Eagles. Yeah, so basically we got here 30 why Chris Mims has it a little bit higher scoring, 31-27. All right, well, either way, that's not a cover. Yeah, so that's a don't play for us, you know. Anybody out there?
Yeah, as a don't player, that's a bring it down in a teaser and a pick 'em or something.
Yeah, I just, you know what's funny though? We're saying, hang on. Paul Spencer here says not to be a hater, but Vikings 31, Eagles 30. Well,
stop being a hater, Paul.
Yeah.
Who's Dallas play?
Dallas plays the Jets. The Jets at Dallas.
31-30 Jets.
Well, I was gonna.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers is known. Aaron Rodgers is known to be Dallas's daddy.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You know, Chris Mims says, "Wow, Paul, I'm surprised." Paul Spencer says, "Touche," and Mike Lauro says, 28-16. I'm gonna assume Eagles. Obviously.
Yeah. Mike's an Eagles guy.
I don't think he's taking Minnesota. You know,
he's the only guy that got him covering though.
That's true. Yeah, because I had us not covering by half a point.
And so does Sean. Sean had a 28-21. If it stays at 7.5, that's not a cover.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, one of the reasons that we don't think the Eagles are going to cover is kind of like the linebacker play. And we already touched on how Nakobe Dean has an injury. And, you know, anybody out there, if you have an injury, make sure you call my man, Jason Fine, aka Attorney Big Al. He does motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, workers' compensation, personal injury claims. He's got 3 offices throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, one in Philadelphia, one in Cherry Hill, and one in Pittsburgh. So, hey, Nakobe Dean, he doesn't need to call him because he's probably got, Eagles insurance and stuff. But, hey, Philadelphia region, you can give my man a call. And one more here, another sponsor of ours, Dugout Mugs. Now, here's hoping the Eagles actually win the Super Bowl this year. Well, this is baseball. Actually, we're going to get into the Phillies. This is if the Phillies can make a run, which we're hoping for, and win the World Series, what better way to commemorate that by getting a Dugout Mug? You could use the promo code OOTBSSports20 at dugoutmugs.com. Here's hoping the Phillies can make a run and actually complete the process here. Here's all the shows on Out of the Box Sports. There's something for everybody here. So make sure, I believe the Big Blue Power Hour will be on tonight at 8:30. So make sure you check them out. I got one more here. Anybody out there looking to make a sports trip? PhillySportsTrips.com is the place to be. I know I'll be going to the Washington game. Can't wait for that. We're going to be throwing it down hardcore down there. Washington. Guys, by the way, Washington wasn't exactly impressive yesterday. I mean, they barely beat Arizona.
Yeah, I think that was a scrappy game. They both kind of suck.
Yeah, well, here's hoping they suck when I go down there. Because I'm going down with Philly Sports Trips. The other thing about Philly Sports Trips too is they also do a tailgate at each home game. What is it? Live casino. So this Thursday night. Drinks. What'd you say, bro?
Great food and great drinks.
Hell yeah, that's right. Yeah, so throw it down hardcore. Everybody get a little feel pretty good for Monday because we're going to need the crowd to get after Kirk Cousins' ass. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, make sure you check all them out. Hang on one second here. I got another comment here. We're going to move on to the Phillies before we wrap up here. Chris Mims says, don't you do that to my boys. Micah is going to be a Rod's daddy soon. You'll see.
Okay.
Because
you called A-Rod their daddy.
Oh, I got you. Well, hey, you know what? Mike is a stud, bro. Paul Spencer says, Evan Neal called me yesterday on the Pittsburgh line and said, sorry, sucker, we don't cover New York, but your ass definitely got your ass beat yesterday. $1 million case, LOL. Okay. That must have been about Jason Fine. All right. All right. So the Phillies here, starting to get a little concerned. They lost 2 or 3 to the Marlins. Not really necessarily that they lost, but how they're losing. I mean, the bullpen.
Horrible.
Bullpen struggling. I mean, look at
today. Sucks. Dominguez sucks. Alvarado's been pitching better. I don't know. And every time Bryce Harper ties the game or comes up big, they just blow it.
I know. That could have been. I mean, that could have been such a momentum. Such a momentous. What do you call it? Momentum.
Like a momentum swing.
Yeah, I can't even speak.
Moment.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, Bryce Harper's got he's got like ice water in his veins. You know what I mean? He comes up. Bryce Harper's like, Christ, the guy's like Roy Hobbs. The only thing he doesn't do is take out the lights.
He's sick.
He's unreal. Yeah, it is. It's, just when you think you got it, man, the bullpen shits the bed. I mean,
it's
for Anthony Dominguez, and if it ain't Dominguez, it's Soto. It's like that spinning wheel. You don't know what to expect.
You know what? You know what else? Here, hang on a second. Chris Mims says, "Good chatting with you guys. I'll be in next time." Not really. Hey, thanks, Chris. Good chatting with you too, bro.
Thanks, dog. Chris.
Checking us out.
Man.
No, but anyway, look at this series versus the Marlins, right? I kind of have a little. I kind of have a little issue with the manager. I'm sorry, but this guy tinkers
Yep.
like this guy tinkers too much, man. I am not a fan of Rob Thompson, dude.
No, me neither at all.
In spite of him, a lot of times. Like, for example, Friday night, Christopher Sanchez has 5 shutout innings. I think he was only at like 80 pitches, 84.
And he pulled him.
And he pulls them, and then the bullpen immediately comes in and blows it, right? Then so they blow the game. Now Saturday they get off to a nice lead, and they win Saturday. I'll give them props. They win Saturday. Aaron Nola, typical Aaron Nola, bro. What, they're up 4-0 or whatever it was, and then he's pitching great through like 3 1/3. All of a sudden, he has that one damn bad inning, dude. That dude,
always,
man. And then yesterday was frustrating because you had
Ranger pitching great game.
Yeah, Ranger Suarez is pitching nice. He gets into the 7th inning. He's into the 7th with a no-hitter, and then he loses it rather quickly. And then yesterday they only got 3 runs. So yesterday the bats really didn't come through.
I think it's kind of when you're depending on Hoffman and he's your most reliable guy, that's not going to get it done.
Well, thank God. But my point, thank God he has been getting it done, though, because at least
right. But you need a couple more guys in that. We were expecting Dominguez to be lights out. We were expecting Strom to be a nice signing. Dude, suck.
Yeah, well, Strom was good.
Early in the season, Strom was good.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe some of these guys have gone too many innings? Maybe
Absolutely.
like Strom. Strom could give you 1 inning, but whenever they try to extend him to 2, it's Gagne. It's game over. Like, he gets hit. You know what I'm saying? So he only really could go 1 inning. And if he
they might have killed his arm. They might have killed his arm with them starts early in the year.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this week here. First off, the wild card standings here I'm looking at, and we really need that first wild card because I'm looking here. The Phillies are 2 up on Chicago? Let me see. All right, yeah. So we lost earlier today. So the Phillies are 78 and 65. The Cubs are 77 and 67. So we're only 2 up on them on the loss column. And I'll tell you what, the last thing I want is to have to go to Wrigley Field, where you want to talk about pressure. With the way Aaron Nola's been pitching, that would be an unbelievable amount of pressure on Zach Wheeler to win that first game in Wrigley, because I'll tell you what, I think this Phillies team can get hot and go on a run, but I could also see a scenario where they're out in 2 games, because if you lose that first game, I have zero faith in Aaron Nola winning game 2. I feel like it could be a quick 2-0 exit unless we get that home field advantage. I could see that scenario happening, but then I could also see if we get the number 1 seed, Wheeler finds a way to win game 1, even if Nola shits the bed in game 2, being at home, maybe the bats come alive and then we go on a run again. You know what I mean? It's Phillies are a weird team. I feel like the Phillies, basically, we hopefully we're hot going into the playoffs. You know what I mean? We got to be hot going in, just like last year. So
I agree.
I hope Bellinger, Horner, and Swanson, they just don't tear it up, man, because their bats are live too as well.
1-0 Phils.
Like you said, you don't want to in Chicago.
All right,
1-0 Phillies up 1-0. Yeah, 1-0 Phils. Romero hit a sacrifice fly. Harper, Turner, and Schwarber got on base. We have bases loaded. Now we got man on second and third with 1 out.
All right, you got to get more than 1 in the situation. You got to get at least 1 more run. You need
1 more.
Yeah. So
Shots up to bat.
All right. All right. Let's just be all right before we. All right. So let's wrap this up because I actually want to watch that game. But before we do, let's look at the. Let me get a Phillies prediction for this week here. All right. So we have basically 3 more with the Braves because we have this game we're playing right now. 2-0 Phillies, another fly out. Okay, that's good. All right, perfect.
Okay.
I'll take that. And you know what? that's good baseball.
He got hit by a pitch.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I
Dang,
saw
he's been
somebody
getting
comment
hit
and
by
said
a pitch.
fly out.
Yeah,
He
got hit by a pitch. Bases loaded. Bases loaded. Castellanos up. 1-0.
All right. Well, let's go. All right. So I'm looking here. 3 more with the Braves tonight, and then you got tomorrow and Wednesday, and then a 3-game set with the Cardinals in St. Louis, who the Cardinals are terrible this year. So that's really important that we take care of business out there. So basically, we have 6 games before we are back on here next week. How are the Phillies doing in those 6?
Including this game?
Yeah, I'm counting this game.
All right, so I think they'll win 2 more against the Braves. The Braves will win 1 more out of the 3, right?
Okay, so that's 2 wins,
and then they'll beat St. Louis twice, and they'll lose 1 to St. Louis.
All right, so that's 4 and 2, and then just to let you know, then next Monday, we're in Atlanta for 3 at Atlanta, but the Braves should have the division locked up by then. So, and then we host the Mets. So, all right, I'm going to say 4 and 2 also, because the Cardinals, we really should sweep them. But sometimes late in the year, those teams with these young guys with nothing to play for, they find a way to get you on a game. You know what I mean?
Castellanos got a hit. Castellanos got a single. It's 2-0, bases loaded, 1 out.
All right,
Marsh up the bat.
All right, cool. All right, so I'm going.
What's the name? Braves already clinched the playoff spot.
Right, but they're about to clinch the division though. So I mean, basically, if you look at the standings here, the Braves are 6 games up on the number 1 seed. So they probably won't have they'll probably still have something to play for because they need that number 1 seed. But by the time we play them a week from now, who knows? They could conceivably be like 8 or 9 games up on the number 1 seed. And maybe they're kind of, they're playing, but they're not really killing themselves. Maybe they start giving guys days off and stuff like that,
Right.
So what did you say say the Phillies were going to be the next 6? All right, so we all say 4 and 2. Okay. All right, I can deal with that.
We can do that. That's fine. 4 and 2.
All right, and if that's the case,
you've been through that before.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then we got to hope the Cubs. are at best 4 and 2. That way, we're still 2 games up. Hopefully the Cubs can have like a 3 and 3, and then we're 3 up, and then by that point there's only 20 games left. So at that point there's 14 games. If you could be 3 up with 14 to go and no head-to-heads, then I'm feeling pretty decent about getting that number 1 seed as long as we don't totally shit the bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
True.
So that's the thing. We need those home games to be in at the bank. I don't want to have to go on the road again.
I agree.
True.
So
couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So definitely that's what we need. Any other thoughts or anything before we get out of here, guys?
No.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Wait, hang on. Let me got one more comment here. Here we go. Paul Spencer says, "Oh, duh."
Oh yeah. We didn't even touch that game.
I know, right?
Aaron Rodgers' first game was a Jet, baby.
Jets.
Paul Spencer says he has Jets 31-19. I hope so. I'm rooting for the Jets, so I hope so.
I think Buffalo gives them the business tonight.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be. I'll say
28-13. Buffalo.
Wow, really?
Yep.
31-28 Buffalo.
Yeah, I like the I think I like the Jets, to be honest with you. I like the Jets. I'm gonna say Jets 27-24, and Garrett Wilson scores at least 1 touchdown. Well, I'm hoping for that anyway, selfishly, because I got him in 2 fantasy leagues.
I took his anytime touchdown.
Nice. Well, let's get that.
That's what I'm saying. 13 points, 1 touchdown. It goes to Garrett Wilson. I'm good. I took Garrett Wilson and Buffalo on a parlay.
All right. Well, I'm rooting for Garrett Wilson, but I need the Jets to win. So, all right. Well, unfortunately, I got to root against you on the Bills. So,
yeah, I guess I hope you lose.
So, all right, guys. Well, hey, by the next time we're here, hopefully the Eagles are 2-0. Hopefully the Phillies. I mean, shit. Hey, if we're gonna hope for something, let's hope the Phillies go 6-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that 4-0. 4-0.
Bet. All right, cool.
4-0. Let's go. Fucking Edmundo Souza doubles.
Nice. Well, you know what? Hey, this is. By the way, Lorenzen's starting this game. This is a big start for Lorenzen because he's been shit since
he's had two. We had a no hitter. He had 2 good games. The one was a no hitter. Then he had 2 horrible games. Let's hope he can get back.
Got to get back. So, all right. Well, hey, all right, guys. Well, listen, I'll wrap to you guys later. Everybody out there, we'll see you next week. And
peace, guys.
Go Birds, go Phils.
Go Birds. Go.